Well, mate, this was meant to be another episode. It's going out on the 18th of May, which for me is my birthday. So you'll excuse us if standards have dropped. Cue the music. Welcome to Beer Together, finding out what's worth sharing, even when we go slightly off script and slightly off promise of every Friday for 30 minutes. Here we are. Matt, what we're going to drink is my birthday drink today.
Well, I will say happy birthday, mate. And you don't look your age.
Oh, I'm colder, right?
You're doing all right. But, yeah, answers on a postcard, how old he is.
Be a long postcard.
It would have to be, especially if you do it in Roman numerals.
I know where I want to come for love. What beer are we having today for my birthday?
Well, we're drinking Camden Pale. It's a beer, an old beer that we've both been drinking for a very, very long time.
Yeah, 330ml, 4%.
An easy beer. Easy beer to drink.
It is easy. It's just, we're not even going to bother with Choose Your Fighter. We're not doing everything in it as normal. This is a quick 15 minutes to say hello and to enjoy our community together. For big days, you celebrate with your community, right? And this is one of those.
Well, it's been coming up 25 years we've known each other.
Mm-hmm. 25 years?
25
wow, that's
years since I came for that interview, that poor, scared, lost young man that I was.
Lost soul that you were.
Lost soul that I was. Came to work for you. It was my own fault. I understand that now. No, I come out of working for Whitbread and came to work for SFI at the time.
Sorry for Ian's, for those who don't remember.
Sorry for Ian's, yeah. So I was at a pub. That's the story, wasn't it? The pub that then you thought I died.
I think people remember the name of the pub. So I interviewed Matt. He was this shy, retiring person. None of those are true.
Didn't have a beard there either.
Didn't have a beard. And he sat there, had an interview. We got on very well together. He had all the things that you want from a person you're interviewing as someone to work for you, primarily that you just said, yes, I'll do whatever you say to do. And then
you believed me.
And I believed you. Totally didn't prove out to be true. He went back to work at a pub called the Townhouse. And now some of you of a certain age will remember the Townhouse in Ealing and a terrorist incident that happened outside. And Matt can fill me on that. But at the time, it went off like, oh, no, that's where Matt works. I'll give him a call. Make sure he's all right. So I phoned him the morning after. So, you're okay, everything all right? And they'll do to help you. Phone rang and rang and rang. Phoned him day two saying, Matt, I'm genuinely concerned. I hope you're all right. That's all that matters right here, right now. Are you okay? And rang and rang and rang and rang. Did this for 5 days in a row. And by the end I thought, oh, God, at what point do you stop phoning a dead man's phone? And being a bit like something out of Seattle or whatever it's called. At which point I got a phone call 3 days later, about 10 days after the incident, to be explained by Matt.
Yeah, I wasn't at when the pub went up. I wasn't there. I was out with my wife or then girlfriend, fiance, and then girlfriend, not even fiance at that point. And we were in Schuler's Joe's in the city. And for the last time, it was the first time that one of my friends had said he never put his hand in his pocket at all. And if he's listening to this, he'll know who he is. And he said, oh, why don't you stay, have a pint? I'm buying. So we stayed and we missed it. So we missed the bomb. But if we'd have been at home, we would have been in bed. And if we were in bed, then we would have been seriously injured. I mean, the glass came into so there were large shards of glass in the bed when I found it. When I went back, we got back in about after 3 days. But the problem was I left my phone in the cab because all the tubes were stopped because it was just outside Ealing tube station. So we got a cab from Acton or somewhere like that to find out what was going on. And so I left my phone in the cab. So I had no way of getting in contact with anybody. And so it was. I phoned you after a few days and went, right, so when am I starting? Because at that point I was serving out my notice in a pub that had just been destroyed. Well, partly destroyed. Most of it lasted, but there were a couple of people injured, but not in the pub because it was open at the time.
Yeah.
They were doing karaoke night, and I've hated karaoke ever since.
You hated karaoke.
I hate karaoke before then as well. Yeah, to be honest,
that's the one.
That's been always the legend. That's always the legend. That's the only reason I can't do karaoke nights is because I get flashbacks and trauma,
and you can't sing.
And I've got out of it. I've got out for many years of having to work in pubs that did karaoke.
I bought that for the first year of you working with us at karaoke night, and there's me wandering around David Gray Babylon, looking like some sort of bizarre Michael Bublé wannabe, and you're there going, "No, I can't do it." Trauma.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever. It's So yeah, we worked together for 18 months. No, a year. Just over a year. And that was, the beginning of a wonderful friendship, and a friendship that's kind of affected my life all the way through, which some would say was brilliant, and some would say
depends who you
it's your own fault. Yeah, for God's sake.
But to celebrate it, we're drinking.
Birthday.
We're drinking. Thank you, buddy. And to celebrate it, we're drinking Camden Pale with our community that we're trying to build together. To share your life stories with us as much as we share our life stories with you. We don't need to know much more about terrorist incidents. That'll do. We'll do a quick review of Camden Pale because I don't think it'll ever fit into our mainstream reviews unless someone out there says, "Hey, do it," because we do drink it as our safe space beer, I guess. It's proper easy drinking. That's the problem with it. And for a birthday episode, you want proper easy drinking, right?
Yeah. It's the of the trinity that I would say of the beers that I drink all the time. Let's say the beers that I can get from my local supermarket in 12 packs that are not £100 a pop. There's Camden Pale, there's Hazy Jane, there's Neck Oil. And even Neck Oil's getting a bit expensive. So those are the beers that I kind of will gravitate to and have at home if I want a couple of beers of an evening. But yeah, that's the Camden Pale. And when you walk into a pub and you see it on there, then you know it's going to be a decent pint.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a birthday question for you. So I've got 3 pints to drink. I've got to drink a safe pint, I've got to drink a risky pint, and I've got to drink a wild card.
What? Whiskey pint? God, there's enough of them.
No, risky, not whiskey. Risky pint and a wild card pint. So you're going safe pint. We're going to chuck in the Camden Pale, right?
I don't know. Guinness. Ooh, Guinness would be my safe pint. If I walk into a pub and don't know it, I'll have a go at Guinness. So
safe pint is Camden or Guinness. They both fit in that category for me. If I go in Camden Pale or Guinness, I'll have those. Risky.
Anything hand-pulled.
Yeah, true. Anything with the word tickler in it.
Yeah. As opposed to last week or a couple of weeks ago, it was Fiddler or
Rudolph,
Tickler.
Yeah.
Rudolph Tickler, which is possibly offensive and maybe a sexual offence in many countries.
If fresh pulp from a couple of weeks ago appears on hand pulp, that's a risky one.
Yeah, we're not having that. Not having that very much. Anything, I suppose if it's on hand pull, anything on hand pull could not risky because most of them aren't, but you don't know what if you walk into a brand new pub, you don't know what the standard of the cellar or whatever else. So have a Guinness and have a look around. If the place looks manky or the tables aren't being wiped down and stuff like that, are they really looking after their cellar properly?
Little things that have always bugged me in the industry, that people don't seem to understand the importance of cleaning table, cleaning a toilet. Because if you can't be bothered to do the stuff for a customer or a guest, I know why it makes you rolled your eyes when I said it, but they're coming into your home as a public, as a guest notices. Yeah. Then how bad's your cellar going to be?
I agree. I went many years ago when I was working at the townhouse. I was brought up as a Roman Catholic, and one of the barmen said, "Right, when you come to church," and we were doing something nothing was going on Sunday night. He went, "Come to church, and then we'll go for a curry afterwards." So I was, all right, we will. I sat in the church and I counted all the light bulbs that had gone. So it was indelibly lit. That was. I walk into places now and I go, right, that's something not right in that corner. It will be the light bulb, or it will be something else. Yeah. You know, that's me. I just walk in and you do that full scan of the pub, and you go, right, that's not right. That's not. I was in a pub yesterday. Walked in. Place smells of smoke. How can it smell of smoke?
Yeah.
No one smoked. You shouldn't smoke in here. But there was a back door to it into a car park, and people were smoking outside. And it was wafting in. And I was like, okay, not for me then, so I probably won't go back there. But those are the kind of things that you see when you walk in.
I went to Italy last week for a meeting, and was sat in the pizza pasta place upstairs, which is brilliant. And the waiter was polishing cutlery, laying stuff down. I just thought, that one's got some dirt on it. I wasn't even looking at him or pointed. He went, flipping out, can't you spot that? I think it's the same with butter curls. It's the same with salt pepper pots. It's the same with fingerprints on the glass. Once you've worked in a pub or a restaurant for a period of time, you're looking for things that will cause the customer, the guest, in my mind, to go, and cause you real aggro. Finding dirty cutlery when you sit down. And you've got to remember, these guys are polishing hundreds of knives and forks a day. It's really easy to miss it. So you've got to remember they're also human. There are cutlery polishing machines out there that cost a flipping fortune, and they're not as good as a human with a bit of vinegar water,
boiling water, or a kettle. Yeah, exactly. All my glasses done like that.
I've decided on my wild card or nostalgic pint. We talked about it last week, actually. I think I would have a pint of 6X. It's my first bitter I had, and I'd have a pint of hand-pulled 6X. Preferably from Devizes. There's a pub in Devizes called the Lamb Inn, and the Lamb Inn has a gun range inside it. I keep promising to take it, but it basically have a barrel, and you bring your own gun. You've got to be licensed, obviously. You can't just turn up like some sort of lock, stock, and three smoking. You take the barrel end off, and you line it up, and you can shoot down this long tube while eating pickled eggs and crisps and drinking a pint of 6X. It's fantastic, mate.
I kind of get that. When I used to serve it with a sparkler. Tighten the sparkler up really tight. So the head. That's
another conversation. Sparkler or no sparkler.
A thick head on a beer, and it was solid. And then it was a great beer. Same as London Pride for me. That was the similar beer. Tighten the sparkler up. So you wouldn't serve that to a normal customer, because that's not the way it should be served in a way, but that's the way I preferred it. So tighten the sparkler up, really kind of give it some welly, and it just looks fantastic going in the glass. It's a bit like when you do it, although the consistency is slightly different, so it takes a lot shorter period. But it's like Guinness. You know, Guinness is like we spoke to a couple of weeks ago. Guinness is only like Guinness because of the creamer plate that it's got on the nozzle. You take the nozzle off and it's flat as there's nothing to it.
Or Carlin Premier.
Sparkler. Or Carlin Premier. I heard they're bringing back Carlin Black Label. Maybe that's what they're doing. I heard that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it. Because then I still won't drink it.
And we'll find out. There we go.
I know, but...
So I think it's a really brief one. It's a chance you're part of our community on Beer Together, Beer Together 123 on Instagram, and Beer Tasting 123 on Instagram, and increasingly on TikTok. Join our community. So like, subscribe, download, listen to everything we've got. If you disagree with us, share. If you've got something in your life you want to share with us, then share with us. Today's my birthday, and it's been great to spend 15 minutes with you. I'm not even going to ask him to remember my name. Thank you, buddy. I'm going to say my name is Elton.
Yeah, well done.
Happy
birthday, mate. Have a good one.
See you on the other side.
Bye-bye.